Hi everyone. So I'm still a little stuffy. I'm still getting well. Excuse me if I have the sniffles and everything. I wanted to do a collective energy reading because I actually, like last night, I had several people email me. It was amazing within just a couple of hours asking if I would do an energy reading because everything has shifted so much in the last, in the last week, really. The energies, it's not even really like a heavy energy. If you're feeling that it's really, really heavy, probably some grounding is needed. And I've talked about that before, how to do grounding, where you can either go outside, but if it's too cold to go outside, you can, while you're in meditation, you can ground your root chakra by imagining a cord being attached to the base of your spine, going down to the center of the earth. It's interesting because some people are really freaking out about how everything is changing. And that is kind of an ascension. It's like a wake-up call. It's like if your life is moving in a new direction or a different direction, or things are shifting so quickly, just breathe, right? Remember your breath. We often forget to breathe throughout the day. And when we don't breathe throughout the day, we're not getting that, we're not releasing all of that negative energy. So kind of breathe through all of the changes, all of the shifts. So we have the 11-11-11 portal that we went through on Sunday. Jupiter moved into Sagittarius. Venus is going direct on, what is today, the 13th? So it's going direct on Friday. Mercury is going retrograde about the same time. So, excuse me. I've been really, really sick, and like all weekend I was sick, and still trying to get better. I'm like conserving my energy as much as possible. So if you are waiting for a personal reading, thank you so much for your patience. I am going to get caught up as much as I can throughout this week, but I am still going to conserve my energy. So I appreciate everybody's patience with that. I'm debating on whether I want to do the second half of November readings or if I just want to move straight into December, because I don't want to overdo it. Plus, I want to be able to get the yearly readings for 2019 out, the general yearly readings for 2019 out. So I'm still trying to decide on how I'm going to navigate that, but I'm leaning towards just going directly to December energies. So what I want to do right now is just kind of take the time to find out what Spirit wants us to know about the shifts, the energies, the things that are going on right now in the world, in the universe, in our lives, and what advice we need to know to get through it. So let's get some oracle cards. I actually have not done, I think the last time that I actually shuffled, I've taken a couple of days off from shuffling the cards. I haven't shuffled cards. So it's interesting when I take a couple of days off work. It's not like going to the office and just picking up where I left off and having to read through emails and stuff. It's really like getting back in touch with all of you guys is kind of surreal. So just bear with me as we go through this. So let's see right now what Spirit wants us to know. 2 cards came out. Yeah. So it is still Scorpio season. We have release, which is the Death card. And we also have nurture, which is the Empress. And this is exactly what I'm feeling, that everybody is really going through. Things are having to fall away. This Venus retrograde time was imperative for us to recognize what is no longer serving us in our lives and what we have to release in order to grow, right? What we have to release in order to grow. And the Empress is all about growth. It's about mastering yourself. It's the divine feminine rising. And even if you're a man, even if you're a male figure watching this, you still have the divine feminine rising within you. And that's a beautiful thing. That's something to celebrate, because we all need to be in touch with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Sometimes it's easier to be in touch with the divine masculine within us because it is more logical. It is more planning. It is more being within the 3D. But when spirit says, no, it's time for you to start moving. It's time for you to start using your intuition. It's time for you to recognize that things cannot be the same as they were before. And if you're in the same spot as you were in last year, or you're in the same spot as you were in 6 months ago, and you're all of a sudden finding that your life is changing in dramatic ways, even if you're not in the same spot as you were in last year and your life is still changing in dramatic ways, new people are coming in, old people are being removed, not because you don't love them anymore, or not because you don't want them in your life, but because they're no longer beneficially resonating with where you are in your vibration. If you're finding that jobs are falling by the wayside and you're having to, your soul's purpose is starting to emerge, things like that, yes, it can be really stressful. And nurturing yourself. This is a time of self-care. And even through Mercury retrograde, I don't want you guys to be scared of retrogrades. When we get into, it can be very psychosomatic, right? We get into a mindset. Here comes the psychologist, Betsy, popping out. When we get into a mindset that a certain transit is bad for us, you can actually make that transit work, especially right now when the veil is very, very thin between the 3D world and the spiritual world, when you can manifest things so easily. I've said it before, we've been building up to this point where your manifestations, you have a thought, and that's what you're going to manifest in your life. So really remember to try and stay in a positive mindset. And if it's very hard for you to stay in a positive mindset, breathing and grounding, meditating is your best friend. And if it's hard for you to meditate, there are some wonderful guided meditations on YouTube that you can do. And a lot of times when I can't quiet my mind, that's what I do. I do the guided meditations on YouTube, or any kind of guided meditation that I can find. I've found some on iTunes, or whatever works for you, whatever resonates with you. It's very easy to find a good guided meditation that you can fall into. And even if you have to do it to fall asleep, that helps, right? But I've noticed that even this time, whenever I get sick like this, because I haven't been this sick, and I sound a lot better than I have the last couple of days, especially because I have been taking care of myself. But I haven't been this sick since April. I've had small colds, but I've been able to do energy work on myself, and they kind of go away pretty quickly. But this kind of hit me really hard, and it made me recognize that I needed to, it was time for me to take a step back and not reevaluate my life, because I really like where my life is right now. But reevaluate what I'm doing with my time, what I'm doing with my energy. Am I using it in a good, positive way for myself, or am I just giving it to others constantly and not giving back to myself? That this was a very big realization time. And Venus retrograde did that for us. Venus retrograde might have removed some people from our lives. It might have brought some new people in. I know a lot of healers and readers and teachers have been saying, don't start new romantic relationships during this time. If you found yourself with either someone who came back from the past or a new energy that came into your life and it's resonating with you, don't second guess it. Go through the feelings, feel what's going on with you, and allow yourself to enjoy this time instead of thinking, oh no, this is, I'm going to think that I'm in a state of bliss, and then it just runs away with me, right? Or then it's going to go away right when Venus goes direct. That's not really the way that it works. If it is beneficial to you and it resonates with you, and it's something that makes you feel good, go with it. Don't constantly second guess yourself, because if you constantly second guess yourself, you're just going to stress yourself out, and that's not self-care, right? So we're releasing things. We're growing in a lot of different ways. a lot of really abundant ways. Let's see what else we can get from this. So, and be very discerning during this time. There will be parts of your life that you just won't understand. So, you know, grounding yourself. We have the Queen of Swords, and this could be male or female in your life. But the Queen of Swords is somebody, she is very logical, but she also has that intuitive side. That's the beauty of what an air sign can do. And when we are starting brand new cycles, after we go through this releasing, you know, after we start to release a lot of things, that a lot of energies that aren't serving us anymore, we go through the new cycle with the world. And being discerning about where you are doesn't mean being so analytical that you get stuck, right? Because this is one of those things of, okay, so I see that there are new things that are happening. It's almost like the new year already started. It's almost like we already had, you know how like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, it feels like, you know, we start making all of those resolutions and we start like doing new things. I almost feel like a lot of people have already started that new cycle, started that new year. And with Jupiter moving into Sagittarius, no matter what sign you are, this is going to impact you in a big way. And I had so many plans. I wanted to do Jupiter and Sagittarius readings for all signs. I wanted to do, you know, Mercury retrograde readings. I wanted to do the full moon. That's, you know, the new moon. I want to do the full moon in Gemini and all of these things that are coming up, because the full moon in Gemini is on November 22nd. But I just, like, my energy, you know, I got sick and the universe was like, we have other plans for you, right? Like, you can make all the plans you want in the world. But if it's not going to benefit you in your future, if it's not going to benefit you in the way that you're going, the universe is going to say, sorry, we have another plan for you. And now we want you to sit back and relax and just wait for it to come, right? So we have the Four of Pentacles and we have the Star. So beautiful, beautiful energy coming. The Four of Pentacles, I feel like this is kind of, because it's right next to the World. Whatever it is that you, whether it's an idea, whether it's a material aspect of your life, whether it's a person, pick an element, right? Whatever it is that you're still kind of clinging on to, even if it's a thought process, even if it's like, man, I really wish my life was this way, or I'm really wanting my life to be this certain way. I feel like there's just a small, like this Mercury retrograde time that's coming up will really help you release those final little crumbs that you've been holding on to. The things that aren't serving you anymore, the things that really need to fall by the wayside. Somebody, whoever's watching, has, like, you have a destined path that's coming, right, with the Star. And you feel the energy because things have been releasing and you are growing in so many ways, right? And so you almost feel this new beginning. You feel this destined path coming to you. But there are a couple of things that Spirit is saying you have to release the ideas or the very small parts of you that you're still holding on to, because we have really, really big plans for you. We have really big things coming. And you have to make room, right? You have to make room for the universe to work in these instances. And the Four of Pentacles talks about that. You know, if you have to release things in order for the universe to provide. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So even though you feel this energy coming, it could be happening very, very slowly. Very fixed signs here. We have the Star represents Aquarius, the Hierophant represents Taurus, right? And I almost want to say plus we have the Scorpio. So like a whole bunch of fixed energy is happening right now. And I feel like what the universe is saying is be still. Because the Knight of Pentacles is a very stable energy coming forward. This is a person that wants to offer maybe something more traditional in your life. This is a job offer that's going to be long-term and steady for you. This is going back to school, or, something that is going to bring you a lot of prosperity and longevity and promises of a beautiful direction, right? Oh, we also have the North Node moving into Cancer this week as well. A lot of stuff is happening this week. And it's okay that even though you feel this anxiety, or you feel like something is coming or something is supposed to be happening in your life right now, but it just like you want it to happen quicker than it is. We live in a world that is like instant gratification. Like we want everything to happen yesterday, right? And the Knight of Pentacles is saying, just be still, because it's coming, and it's coming in a very, very stable way, and it's going to line up. And once it gets here, you're going to have that epiphany moment where you're like, oh, that's why I had to wait. That's why I had to be calm. That's why I had to be patient and take my time. That's why I had to meditate and stay grounded, because things are happening in methodical way, right? And the universe is taking care of it. But in the meantime, what the universe wants you to do is to continue to release all of those old energies. And I've had people ask me, how do I do that? How do I release old energies? Sometimes you don't even really have to do anything. Sometimes the universe takes care of that for you. Whether somebody kind of falls by the wayside, you get a feeling where you have to have a talk, have a conversation. But as these things are falling away, whatever it is that makes you feel trapped, whatever it makes you feel uncomfortable, whatever it is that's making you feel like you're stagnant and you can't move forward, those, like if you sit there and you think, and you shut your eyes and you're like, why do I feel so trapped in my life? Why can't I just simply move? Why are things not working out for me? It's because you're still holding on to energies that don't benefit you. And once you begin to release those energies that aren't benefiting you, the universe blesses you in ways that you can't even imagine. You can't even imagine. So let's see. I want to clarify this Queen of Swords, the discernment, she's so proud, but she also, what's really great is I love this card, because if you look at it, there's a bull sitting next to her and protecting her, right? So she's a woman that knows that she can do things on her own. She can be very discerning. She can make decisions on her own. She's independent, but she also has trusted friends by her side that she can count on. And I think that that's very imperative right now, to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who know who you are, who are in your same vibration, who believe in you. Because the people that, are jealous of the way your life is going, or seeing how all these really big things happening in your life, and they're not on that vibration, and they just get nasty, or, they're like, well, I don't understand why things are always happening for you, but nothing's happening for me, or whatever it is that is, blocking that path. Those are the people that need to fall by the wayside, right? Ooh, look at that. She's also a person. We have the Death card again. Scorpio energy. Lots of Scorpio energy right now. And Venus is in Libra. It is in retrograde in Libra. But because we're still in Scorpio season, we're still very much in the depth of it. But the Queen of Swords also knows in a very real way that she has to cut things out of her life. She recognizes that the people, places, things, jobs, whatever it is, that aren't serving her for a reason. And she's very discerning about that. And she's very honest with herself. She's justice, right? She represents Libra, cardinal energy. She's justice. Ugh, my hair. Sorry, shuffling and pulling my hair at the same time. So let's see what this new beginning is that's coming. And this is for the collective. This doesn't have to be in relationships. It doesn't have, I mean, it could be relationships, career, whatever. This, I just wanted to kind of be like, let everybody know, like these are the messages that Spirit wants everybody to know as a collective, right? So if it's not resonating with you, if this is something where you're like, Betsy, nothing new is happening in my life. Nothing new is happening in my life right now. I'm going to do more of these. I kind of feel like I need to do weekly energies just for the collective anyways, and not, and I wanted to do daily too, but again, I need to preserve my energy, be very discerning about preserving my energy. If this isn't resonating with you right now, you know, maybe it's going to resonate with you in a couple of months. Maybe if you come back during Mercury retrograde, it'll resonate with you. Let's call this a timeless reading. Energy is fluid. Time isn't linear. Doesn't matter what day it is. This could be something that shows up in the new year, in January. But I know a lot of people are closing out cycles right now in their life, and new ones are coming in. I don't want you to feel guilty about walking away from things, because I do feel there's an energy where with the Seven of Swords, there could be like this guilt factor of, you know, but I'm leaving people behind. Or, you know, if I have to leave this job behind, I feel like I'm going to be leaving them at a loss, right? You know, whatever, the company's not going to fall flat on its face. You know, if you work for a big corporation, the company's not going to fall flat on its face if you're no longer resonating with it and you need to leave. If you have something better, if you have something more coming up, if you have a whole new cycle of being coming up, don't feel guilty about that. Because this guy, the Seven of Swords, if you look at that card, there he keeps turning around and looking at that dog, right? So it's time, and this is more about releasing, again, more release that's happening. And the Seven of Swords, I've said it so many times, this represents the moon in Aquarius. And sometimes you have to remove yourself emotionally from situations for self-preservation purposes, right? And so it doesn't have to be deceiving. And it could be that you are leaving things behind that have been deceiving to you, that you didn't recognize were deceiving until just now. Like Venus retrograde kind of gave you that aha moment, or Mercury retrograde is going to give you that aha moment, because Jupiter wants to bless you. Again, it doesn't matter what sign you are. Jupiter moving into Sagittarius, which is its home, wants to bless everybody. But again, you have to give room to the universe, the Four of Pentacles. You have to release things. You have to give room to the universe for the universe to work in your life. And if you're still holding on to old patterns or old ways of thinking, especially old patterns and old ways of thinking, it's really time to let go of all of that. So when the new things come in, you have room to breathe. You have, see what I mean? I love it when the cards work with me in this way. I really do. The Ace of Pentacles on the Four of Pentacles. This guy in the Four of Pentacles, he can't receive that gift from the universe if he doesn't let go of one of those pentacles. And there's a lot of abundance coming to a lot of you. And if you're, again, one of those people shaking your head and you're like, I don't see any abundance coming to me. Maybe you're still holding on to things too tightly that you need to let go of. Maybe you're in a relationship that's no longer serving you, but you feel guilty about leaving. Or maybe you're in a situation at work, or maybe you're in, you know, a house that you've been trying to like keep this house, but the energy in it doesn't feel good anymore, or you can't afford it anymore, but oh my gosh, it's in such a great location. Why would I want to let it go? The universe is nudging you and saying, I have more for you. You just have to trust. You have to trust. And the Ace of Pentacles is a gift, and we can't ask for the gift. Yes, we can ask for the gift, but we can't ask for the gift before we're supposed to get it, right? If it's not time for us to receive the gift because we're holding on to things too tightly, we won't receive the gift. But if you've done the work and you've let go and you've said, okay, universe, I'm trusting you and I'm going to start removing these energies from my life, guess what? That Ace of Pentacles is right around the corner. And the Ace of Pentacles is abundance and it's stability and it's long term. It's not fleeting. The Ace of Pentacles is stable, right? So, and then we have the Star, which is a lot of healing, you know. The Star represents healing. It represents balance. It represents getting everything that you want, being on your destined path. And again, this is a promise, right? But the message here is you must release, 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 release. Remove things from your life because, wow. All right, I'll take those. There was like a ton of them that wanted to come out, but so we've got 3. The first card that came out on the Star was the 4 of Wands. And we have the Page of Cups and the 4 of Cups. So I feel like the promise is for stability and happiness. But, and if you look at this, so the Page of Cups for me in this deck is I want to be more fulfilled in my life. I want to have this 4 of Wands. I want to have everything that the Star promises me. I want to be on my destined path. And then we have the 4 of Cups. And in a lot of decks, the 4 of Cups talks about apathy or not receiving the gift or, you know, having that gift in front of you, but not recognizing that it's there. This guy, it's like quiet contemplation. So I feel like if you're in a place right now where you're like, man, I just want to be more fulfilled. I want to have a stable life. I want to have a happy family. I want to have a marriage, a happy marriage or a happy relationship or, you know, whatever it is that you are craving, that you're wanting, that you've been manifesting, that you've been wishing for, wishing on a star for, right? Whatever that is in your life, I feel like the universe or spirit is saying to you right now, get quiet. Get quiet and trust. There doesn't have to, you know, the only action that you're being asked to take here is to let go of old energies. That's what retrograde season is all about. It's not about getting all crunchy or salty towards people. It's not about technology going haywire like mine really likes to do during Mercury retrograde, but, you know, whatever. It also likes to do that when things are happening in Aquarius too. So it just is the way, it is what it is. Plus Uranus is doing all sorts of different things right now. And Uranus does talk about technology, like in the modern world, right? So the only thing that you're being asked to do is to get quiet and recognize the things that are no longer fulfilling you. Because there's a promise of a new day. There's a promise of stability and happiness and love and relationships and celebrations and marriage and, you know, whatever it is that you want. This could be a job. This doesn't have to be in a relationship. But a family, you know, celebrations are coming up very soon. In the States, we have, you know, the Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming next month. So you're being asked to release and then get quiet. If you're in a place of unfulfillment right now, and you're like, I don't feel these energies being beneficial to me at all, it's time for you to flow with the energies instead of fight against them. And know that things aren't going to happen like that. That's not the way that it works. Sometimes, yes, sometimes people can get very, very lucky, but I bet you anything that they did the work. I bet those people that are becoming abundant, the people that are getting the gifts from the universe right now, you know, those are the people that have done the work. If it's taking a very long time for this abundance to get to you, what is it that you're holding on to? What is it that you have yet to release in your life? Do you want to go into a new year still in the same spot you've been in for the last 15 years? Or do you want to really follow your purpose and see what the universe has for you and where it's going? So let's see what the Knight of Pentacles is. It's such a stable energy. I always like the Knight of Pentacles because it's calming to me. Earth signs are very calming individuals. Because even when we're stressed out, we don't show it. Like, seriously. I mean, and like, I'm the kind of person that for me to get so super stressed out, like, it takes a lot for me to get there. It didn't used to be that way. I used to like fly off the handle pretty quickly in my younger years because I didn't know how to handle the stress. But I feel like as I've matured, as I've gotten older, as my planets have matured, I actually had my chart read for me. A good friend of mine did it for me. Even though I know what my chart says, she did a brilliant job of really pinpointing me. And she just kind of did it for fun. She's not doing it for, you know, clients or anything yet. She just kind of did it for like practice for me. And I've recognized that so many of my transits have matured. Like, I've gotten to such a place of maturity that patience is very easy for me right now. It takes a lot for me to get stressed out. But that also, I can also attest that it's because I meditate. And I sit with myself and I'm able to ground myself. And I'm also able to know that everything happens for a reason in my life. It always has been that way. And I cannot force the issue, right? So be still during this time of confusion. Be still with the Seven of Cups. Also know that so much of everything, like, people are so extra emotional right now. People are so extra salty, extra, you know, right now. And if they're projecting things onto you, it could just be an illusion. It doesn't even, like, some people don't know how to handle the chaos that happens on a day-to-day basis. And if you're one of those people, then getting still and getting grounded, like this Four of Cups, quiet contemplation, is really a big deal, right? The Seven of Cups also talks about having a lot of options. And if you have a lot of things that are changing in your world right now, and you have a lot of options and you're confused about the future and everything's really fuzzy, it'll get clear, but it's going to take some time. Again, this is an instant gratification world, and things don't happen instantly in the universe. We have been going through a time, like, I feel like this entire year, all of 2018 has been about learning patience and learning that even though we live in a world where you can put a picture up on Instagram and get 100 likes within a minute or whatever, that's not the way the universe works. You're not going to get 100 likes in a minute just because you released some karma, right? It's going to take some time to rebuild and to get there. And when you have a lot of things going on in your life, you want to do it step by step. You don't want to try and take on all 7 of these cups all at once, because if you do, that's just going to create more chaos, right? And the slower you go and the more methodical you go and the more stable you are in your existence, in your life, the more prosperous you become, the more you learn, right? The more longevity, abundance you receive, right? So, and the Hierophant promises that. It promises, you know, the Hierophant is about prosperity. It is about spirituality. It's about higher learning. There could be a lot of you, like, your spiritual ideas, your ideas of, you know, you're no longer working with the status quo, and that's weird for you. And it's going to take you time to understand, because you could have been an illusion for so long and thinking one way for so long that now it's time to start thinking another way. And that's different. It's a different kind of atmosphere. And this could be the awakening process that everybody needs. This could be the ascension. With the sun here, this is that clarity, that moment, that this is that aha moment. Like, oh man, I've been going through this for so long, and now everything's starting to fall into place. Oh, it's like that brand new day when the sun comes up. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Releasing expectations. As you come into, with the Six of Swords, a more, mental clarity, mental clarity and balance. Moving from rougher waters to calmer waters. That's when the energy quickens, right? With the Eight of Wands. That's when, I have a paper cut. I didn't even know I had that. And we have the Two of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune and the worst being over with the Ten of Swords and the King of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Two of Wands. Okay. So as you come into that mental balance and clarity, that's when the energy starts to quicken. It's almost like that energy switch, right? Because the Wheel of Fortune is now saying, now you have good options to choose from and your luck is changing. So now what are you going to do, right? The Wheel of Fortune is that shift of energy that we need to push us forward, to keep going forward. And the Two of Pentacles is now you get to decide, because he's actually like, I like the Two of Pentacles in this deck because he's juggling. He's on the beach. He's having a good time. There's a dog playing in the background. Like he's kind of, he's like having fun. It's not a chore for him to have all of these balls up in the air. It's not really a chore. Yes, you may have options, but they're not, it's not overwhelming like the Seven of Cups anymore, right? Because you shifted the energy. And the Ten of Swords is, even though things had to fall away, we have a lot of cycles ending here, right? A lot of releasing. Even though there are things that had to fall away, it's not the end of the world. The way that I see the Ten of Swords is going to the worst possible case scenario. Like, for example, somebody says they're going to text you when they, when they get somewhere and they never text you, and you think that they're dead in a ditch on the side of the road, right? When they're not. So we go to the worst possible case scenario. And the Ten of Swords is saying that the worst is over. Because now you get to start something new. Now you get to start a brand new phase in your life. And it's not as devastating as you thought it was going to be. So with all of the decisions that you have to make, there's the last fixed energy, or we have another fixed energy. With, the King of Pentacles represents Taurus energy. So, this is a promise of things coming forward towards you that you're going to be comfortable in. Right? The King of Pentacles doesn't worry about much because he has it all. He has discernment. He can rule his kingdom in a fair way. Not only is he somebody who can stay grounded, but he can also make very rapid decisions in order to benefit himself and his people. Right? And he can do it in a very calming manner. He makes those rapid decisions, but he also, the mind of a Taurus where, they actually do that analyzing that a Virgo does, but they do it it's not as intricate, right? It's not as intricate as what a Virgo would do. Virgo gets in their mind and sometimes can't crawl out of their mind. A Taurus, when they're ready to make a decision, they act on it. And that's what the King of Pentacles is doing, right? Because he knows with the Three of Wands that there's so much more out there. There's so much more out there. And then you can get comfortable with all the decisions that you need to make, right? The Two of Wands for me is a comfortably stuck card. But I feel like after releasing everything and after allowing the universe to bring this abundance in And that's when the energy shifts. It's okay to be comfortable now. I feel like all three of these cards, because now with the Three of Wands, you can sit in your comfortableness and just wait for the abundance to show up. Even if you have decisions you have to make in your life, you can be comfortable with the decisions that you're making because you know now. So if you're not quite at that instance where the energy has shifted, if you're still sitting in that place of, oh my gosh, everything is such an illusion, everything's so fuzzy, I don't know what to do next, I don't know what's going on, yada, yada, yada. If you're still in that place, get quiet. Be still. You don't always have to be on the go. It doesn't always have to be go, 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 go. The universe is saying, be one with yourself. Really, really listen to your intuition. Start manifesting things in a very positive way. Instead of saying nothing good is ever going to come to me, be like, I deserve all of the abundance, all of the healing. I deserve all that the Ace of Pentacles can bring to me. And if you don't know what you're still holding on to that you need to release, if you're like, oh my gosh, but I've released everything, I have nothing left, and I'm still feeling stuck. If you don't know, get quiet and ask the universe. Ask your guides. Ask your intuition. What is it that I still need to release? What do I need to do to make room in my life to bring this abundance in, right? You can shift the energy on a dime. Once you get quiet and once you come into that mental balance state of mind, things happen very, very quickly. And then you can start making decisions in a much better way. I hope this made sense. And I hope it made sense of why I chose to do this. I know that I haven't, it's been like a week since I've done a video. But I wanted to connect with you guys because I know a lot of you are very, very confused about all of the shifting energies that are happening, all of the big things that are going on. And so the biggest advice I feel like right now is to trust, release, accept, move on. Don't be afraid of what's coming. Don't be afraid of what's coming. Because fear can be a great paralyzer, but it can also be a great motivator, right? If you're always afraid of walking into the street because of traffic, you're never going to be able to cross the street to go anywhere. So allow yourself to trust that you're being taken care of. Don't walk into front of cars. That's not what I'm saying. Like, don't walk into a busy street of traffic just because Betsy was like, oh, well, she told me not to be afraid of cars. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying trust that there's going to be an opening for you to be able to walk across the street where cars aren't coming, right? Let's put it that way. I love you guys. And I'm going to try and do weekly energies like this that are just kind of for the collective in general. And if you have a personal reading that you're waiting on from me, I am getting to them. I am going to start catching up on them today. I'm still a couple of days behind, so I appreciate everybody's patience and love, and thank you for all of the kind words. And one last thing before you click off. I have 5 one-year readings left, and I have 7 6-month 2019 forecasts. So 5 2019 12-month forecasts left, and 7 6-month forecasts left. When they are gone, they are gone. So if you want to get a 2019 forecast from me, go to my website. All of that information is in the description box. Also, all of the Soulmate readings are available on Vimeo or my website if you missed that. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'm going to start getting caught up on things. Bye.